YouTube, and welcome back. This week's tutorial is going to cover the PathFinder report, which was one of the reports that I did during the last tutorial. The PathFinder report can be found under Paths, Pages, and PathFinder, and there are several different types of kind of pre-programmed paths that you can choose from within the PathFinder report, or you can do a custom pattern. You have a precede pattern, a follow pattern, a bookends pattern, and a sandwich pattern. And you actually have a graphical representation here of what that means. This would be the specific page or pages that you're selecting with then wildcards. And so you have precede, you have the wildcards preceding the specific page you're looking at, wildcards following it, wildcards on either end, or a wildcard in the middle. And those are your standard 4 patterns that come with the report, or you can just customize it any way you like. I am going to do this tutorial using 4 different scenarios so that it makes it more clear the usefulness of these reports. So to start off with, the first scenario is basically it's a question saying, what are the most popular entry path fragments following the home page? So looking at it that way, so if it's following the home page, you need to do a follow pattern. So we've got the home page and we've got the wildcards. We could start with that. But you notice that it also specifically said the entry path fragments. So we start with a default fragment here, which is the follow pattern. We've got the specific page, which we're going to go ahead and select the home page, add the item. You have to add the item, and it has to be a selected page, and then click OK. Otherwise, it won't work. But if it's going to be an entry path, we're going to have to add another step. So I'm going to go over here. You can see all the different variations of steps you can have. And I'm going to have entered site, and I'm going to add that to the pattern. And so now we've got it as the home page being an entry path, and then whatever preceded the home page after that. Now, you'll notice there's a note down here that I've reached the maximum of 4 steps. And that just means that this particular PathFinder report only gives you 4 steps. And so that's why they're calling it a path fragment, because you don't always get complete paths, depending on the length of the path. Alright, so now that we've got our pattern set up, I'm going to go ahead and run report, and we'll take a look and see what that looks like. Okay, and so we have here basically a pie chart, and it shows the most popular paths in the pie chart, and the most popular paths here, the top 5, represent 57.1% of the total of all the traffic on the site, given the month, which is September of 2013. And you can see here the most popular paths. Here where they enter the site, you go to the home page, go to the services page, and leave. Or they go to, they start with the home page, go to the about page, and then services. And then we don't know where they go from there, because again, it's a path fragment and not a complete path. Only the ones where you have the enter and exit as part of the path, that's a complete path. But anything else are going to be path fragments. Alright, so that answers that particular question. Now, if you want to change what report you're running, you click up here on Edit Filter. And then the second scenario asks, what are the most popular paths following the home page, whether or not the home page was an entry page? Alright, so in this case, we want to go ahead and we want to get rid of entered site. And we just want to see what paths were the most popular following the home page without it being an entry page. So all instances of the home page. So we just take the entered site, drag it down here to remove item, and then we'll just rerun the report. Okay, and in this case, the report shows the pie chart is about 51.5% of the total of traffic. And here you can see the home page, and it doesn't always have, or doesn't show which one are the entries and which ones aren't. It's just basically any path fragment after the home page, whether it was an entry page or not. And here are the most popular ones. Alright, the next scenario, and so go ahead and click Edit Filter. And we'll go ahead and the next scenario is, what are the most popular path fragments prior to exiting the site? Alright, so in that case, we're not going to have a specific page at all. Okay, so we have here, we have 2 wildcards. I can go ahead and add a 3rd wildcard, and then I'll go ahead and add exited site. So the most popular path fragments, so any pages at all that preceded an exit of the site. So I'll go ahead and run that report, and we'll see what that looks like. Now this particular report, the pie chart, the top 5 represent only 31.1% of the total, so a little bit less. But here you can see what the most popular paths were prior to exiting the site, and a lot of them, the top 3, include an entry to the site. Since I'm looking at a path fragment of 3 steps. I could have just looked at 2 steps, but the 3 steps give me a little bit extra information and includes the entry. So we know that entering the site, going to home services, and exiting, entering the site home, and then this particular page over here, and then exiting, and then of course going to the blog homepage and exiting. Those are the top 3 that include an entry page. And then we have a couple here in the top 5 that don't include an entry page. So they came from somewhere else in the site and then hit the home page, etc. So again, path fragments. These 2 are clearly fragments, while the top 3 are actually complete paths. Now the final scenario, and I'll go ahead and get back into the edit filter. And the final one is, what are the most popular path fragments that lead to a specific page, such as, and in this case the scenario I'm going to be using would be a particular specific blog article. So I'm going to go ahead, and instead of exiting the site, I am going to do a specific page. And I have one particular article that, if you've seen my other tutorials, you'll know this is my most popular article on my site. So I'm going to go ahead and add that. Click OK. So this will show the most popular path fragments that lead to this specific article. So I'm going to go ahead and run the report. And this particular page, you'll notice there's no traffic coming from other pages. That particular article in the month of September had no traffic coming to it from other pages. So all the traffic it had was direct traffic. So that's what you would infer from this particular report. The fact that it didn't match any criteria. Obviously there was traffic to the page, since it's the second most popular page on the site for the month of September. However, if there's no preceding pages in the path prior to it, it clearly indicates that it was all direct traffic to that article. They came to the, searched or had direct link or bookmark or whatnot, came, read the article, and left the site. And if we edit the filter, we can verify that. I can go ahead and just put the wildcards after it. Alright, and here you can see definitely that there was traffic from the site, and people would go from that article and they would actually go to other places, including exiting the site, but they didn't come from anywhere. And there wasn't a lot of views in September for this particular article. It's been up for several months now, and I'm not surprised that the traffic to it is now starting to wane a little bit. Alright, so to do this scenario one more time with a different page on the site, just so that we can actually see something a little bit more interesting, I'm going to go ahead and move it back to the end, so it's the last page selected. And then I'm going to go ahead and select the thank you page, which is the thank you page after someone submits a contact form, which is my main lead generation. I'm going to go ahead and add that, and I'm going to remove the article name, because I only want to look at the thank you page. And I also went ahead, while I'm running the report, I also changed the date range to the last 6 months, so that I can have a little bit wider range to look at, also because I know that no one submitted a contact form in the month of September. Alright, so of the people who actually hit the thank you page in the last 6 months, a lot of them entered the site, came to the home page, you went straight to the contact page and submitted the contact page. Some of them went through my services page. Some of them actually came through, I actually have a live chat on my my website, and I'm not always there, so it's entirely possible that they went there, couldn't talk to me, and then went ahead and contacted me. And then here, they actually started at the thank you page and circled back around. And that indicates that there might be something getting stuck with the thank you page, but I didn't see any issues with thank you page submissions, so I'm not sure if this is a valid path fragment or not. However, you can see the value of looking at these path fragments and things, and it gives you a little bit more detail, a few more steps than you can with the other path reports that I showed you in the previous tutorial, where you can do the full paths, which gives you everything. This one actually gives you a chance to kind of segment out your paths and things like that. So, oops. The navigation doesn't always want to go away. All right. So, thank you so much for joining me for this week's tutorial. If you have any questions about this PathFinder report, please leave a comment in the section below this video. And please like and subscribe if you haven't yet. And until next week, take care. Bye-bye.